Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana. Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana. Yamunatira Vanachari. Yamunatira Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana. Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana. Yamunatira Vanachari. Yamunatira Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. We are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, Chapter 9, text number 28. But I need the book and or the verse. Okay. evam janam nipatitam prabhavahi kupe kamabhikamam anu yah prapatan prasangat kritvatmasat surarshina bhagavan grihita so ham katham nu visraje tava bhritya sevam evam janam nipatitam prabhavahi kupe kama bhikama manuyah prapatan prasangat kritvatmasat surashina bhagavan grihita soham katham nu visraje tava bhritya sevam evam janam nipatitam prabhavahi kupe kama bhikama manuyah prapatan prasangat kritvatmasat surashina bhagavan grihita soham katham nu visraje tava bhritya sevam evam janam nipatitam prabhavahi kupe kama bhikama manuyah prapatan prasangat kritvatmasat surashina bhagavan grihita soham katham nu visraje tava bhritya sevam Nelly? Anybody else? Anybody online?
Evam.
Please go ahead, Prabhu, after you.
Oh no, you go ahead, Tapas Prabhu.
Evam janam nipatitam prabhavi kupe kama bhikamam anuya prapatan prasangat kritpa mashat shurasina bhagavan grihita soham katham nu visrije tavavritta sevam.
Vijay Krishna Prabhu?
Nipatitam. Can you hear me?
Now I can.
Can you hear me?
Now I can.
Yes.
Prabhu, your voice is very low. You should come closer to mic.
Evam. Just a second. Yes.
Yes.
Evam janam nipatitam prabhavahi kupe kama bikamam anuya prapatan prasangat kritvat masat sudarsina bhagavan grihita soham katam nu visrije tava britya sevam.
Evam, thus, janam, people in general, nipatitam, fallen, prabhava, of material existence, ahikupe, in a blind well full of snakes, kama abhikamam, desiring the sense objects, anu, following, yaha, the person who, prapatan, falling down in this condition, prasangat, because of bad association or increased association with material desires, kritva atmasat, causing me to acquire spiritual qualities like himself, Sri Narada, Sura Rishina, by the great saintly persons, great saintly person, Narada, Bhagavan, O my Lord, Grihitaha, accepted, Saha, that person, Aham, I, Katham, how, Nu, indeed, Visrije, can give up, Tava, your, Britya Sevam, the service of your pure devotee. Translation and commentary by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. My dear Lord, O Supreme Personality of Godhead, because of my association with material desires one after another, I was gradually falling into a blind well full of snakes, following the general populace. But your servant Narada Muni kindly accepted me as his disciple and instructed me how to achieve this transcendental position. Therefore, my first duty is to serve him. How could I leave his service? Purport. As will be seen in later verses, even though Prahlad Maharaj was directly offered all the benedictions he might have desired, he refused to accept such offerings from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. On the contrary, he asked the Lord to engage him in the service of his servant Narada Muni. This is the symptom of a pure devotee. One should serve the spiritual master first. It is not that one should bypass the spiritual master and desire to serve the Supreme Lord. This is not the principle for a Vaishnava. Narottam Das Thakur says, Tadar Choran Shevi Bhakta Shanivash, Janame Janame Hoy E Abhilash. One should not be anxious to offer direct service to the Lord. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu advised that one become a servant of the servant of the servant of the Lord. Gopi bhartav padakamalyor dasa das anudasaha. This is the process for approaching the Supreme Lord. The first service should be rendered to the spiritual master so that by his mercy one can approach the Supreme Personality of Godhead to render service. While teaching Rupa Goswami, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Guru Krishna Prasade Pai Bhakti Lata Bij. One can achieve the seed of devotional service by the mercy of the Guru, the spiritual master, and then by the mercy of Krishna. This is the secret of success. First, one should try to please the spiritual master, and then one should attempt to please the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Vishwanatha Chakravarti Thakur also says, Yasya prasadad bhagavat prasado. One should not attempt to please the Supreme Personality of Godhead by concoction. One must first be prepared to serve the spiritual master, and when one is qualified, he is automatically offered the platform of direct service to the Lord. Therefore, Prahlad Maharaj proposed that he engage in the service of Narada Muni. He never proposed that he engage directly in the service of the Lord. This is the right conclusion. Therefore, he said, Soham katam nuvisrajetava bhritya sevan. How can I give up the service of my spiritual master who has favored me in such a way that I am now able to see you face to face? Prahlad Maharaj prayed to the Lord that he might continue to engage in the service of his spiritual master, Narada Muni. Om Ajnanatimidandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupagadam Ahyam Datati Svapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghuna Tanvitam tam sajivam sadvaitam savadhutam parijana sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakanvitamscha Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Shri Mate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. This is a very famous verse now, which has come in the prayers of Prahlad Maharaj, discussing his relationship with Narada Muni. Srila Prabhupada would quote this verse many times, as do many other devotees quote this verse. It's very famous, especially the last line, Soham katam nu visrajay tava vritti sevam. Prahlad Maharaj is saying, how can I give up the service to Narada Muni who has favored me so much, like Srila Prabhupada says, in such a way that I'm seeing you now face to face. Previously, Prahlad Maharaj, he didn't see the Supreme Lord face to face. At least externally, like he is now, where Lord Nrsimhadev is right there in the room, and Prahlad Maharaj is seeing him face to face. Of course, pure devotees always see the Lord face to face. They're always remembering Krishna. They're always seeing Krishna. But Prahlad Maharaj is speaking basically from our perspective, from the perspective of a sadhaka, that my spiritual master Narada Muni has enlightened me with knowledge such that I'm now seeing you. So, how do you know something? How do you know anything? And especially, how do you know? Krishna consciousness deals with the issue of how do you know someone? Because you can know someone's name, you can know somebody's, talking about a human, of course, somebody's address, somebody's, mother's name, their father's name, where they were born. You can know a lot of things. You can know biographical details of a particular person. So many people write autobiographies and biographies about other people. But by reading a autobiography of Barack Obama, you don't become friends with Barack Obama. It's not like you see him face to face. It's not that you develop any kind of substantial relationship with him. And even then, he might reveal some, whatever. Actually, Barack Obama in his autobiography actually reveals that he was a homosexual. I just happened to use that example, but anyway. He actually reveals that in his autobiography. It's a kind of a side thing. But a person might reveal some intimate details about themselves, but to really know a person means to know their mind, to know how their mind works, to know them very intimately like that. There has to be a relationship. It's not just that, okay, you might know, so many things about a person. I might know that Chad's born, is from Nebraska, and Dvijamani Prabhu's from Russia, and Sankarshan Prabhu's from Mexico. He's born in LA. I might know all of these things about a particular person, but I won't know them as a person until there's a relationship there. So we are not just a philosophical tradition, in the sense that, yes, we have philosophy. Srimad Bhagavatam is, amongst other things, a deeply philosophical text. Bhagavad Gita, of course, is a deeply philosophical text. What to speak of things like the Upanishads and Vedanta Sutra. Those things are heavily philosophical. But we are not a philosophical tradition in the sense that we're not just trying to know things about Krishna. We're not just trying to know Krishna, but we're trying to have a relationship with Him. Which, as I discussed, is two very different things. Some people know things about Krishna. So many Hindus walk into the temple and they know so many stories about Krishna. They know so many, of course, are those stories really actually true and accurate? That's another thing. But so many bhajans, they know, some people know more bhajans than, we do. They might know so many shlokas, so many this and that, all about Krishna. Some people come here and they say, Krishna's my boyfriend and this and that. They say so many things. And some of them really actually do know a lot about Krishna. But the difference between knowing Krishna and having a relationship with Krishna is quite large, actually. There's a very big difference between knowing something about Krishna, or even knowing many things about Krishna, and having a relationship with Him. There's a verse which is given in the Upanishads, very famous, Srila Prabhupada would quote, Nayam atma pravachanena labhyo na medhaya na bahudashritena. That the Supreme Lord is not known by Nayamatma pravachanena labhyo na medhaya. He's not known by intelligence. And na bahudashritena. And not by hearing from even a bunch of people. Krishna is not known by hearing from, you can go to the, whatever we have here. What do we have? The Shiva Vishnu temple. You can go to the Sri Mandir. You can go to the Hanuman temple. You can go to this place, that place. You can hear from all kinds of Panditjis and Gurujis and Babajis and whoever you want to hear from. But the next line, Naimam Prabhajanena Namedayana Bahudashratena. Krishna. Anyway, the next line is the actual famous part of the verse, and somehow or other I've forgotten it now. But it describes that the Supreme Lord is not known by these things. He's known by one whom He chooses. So if one is favored by the Supreme Lord, if one pleases the Supreme Lord, then one can have a relationship and one can know Him in full. So we do that. Prahlad Maharaj here is emphasizing that one has to be favored by, he says, your servant Narada Muni kindly accepted me as a disciple and instructed me how to achieve this transcendental position. He instructed me. He got me here. So Guru, amongst other things, generally is understood as it's translated as preceptor, it's translated as teacher. Instructor also, you can have a, instructor, teacher. But really, the only word that actually really conveys the idea of what guru is guru. Of course, you can have a tabla guru, you can have a mridanga guru, you can have a harmonium guru, you can have a sitar guru, you can have a veena guru, you can have, so many kinds of gurus. But guru in the real sense, the way it's being used here, the word teacher is inadequate. It's not a proper word. Neither is instructor, neither is really anything else besides the word guru. Yes, it's true. Like Prahlad Maharaj is saying here, we need to be instructed. He says he accepted me as a disciple and he instructed me. So it's true. We do need to learn. This comes up in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. It's quoted, but it's from a text called Brahma Yamala. Brahma Yamala, Vishnu Yamala? Anyway, whatever it is. Shruti Smriti Puranadi Pancharatra Vidhim Bina Ekantiki Hirer Bhaktir, in quotes, Utpata Yeva Kalpate. Shruti Smriti Puranadi. Shruti, it says, that devotional service has to be rendered according to Shruti, the Vedas, that which is spoken by the Supreme Lord, Smriti Shastra, and the Puranas, and then Adi, etc. Shruti, Smriti, Purana. Pancharatra, according to the rules and regulations of Pancharatra, Pancharatra Vidhim Bina, according to the rules and regulations of Pancharatra also. But without this, Vina, Aikantiki Hirer Bhaktir, without this so-called one-pointed, focused devotional service on Krishna, Utpata Yeva Kalpate, is just a disturbance, it's just a nuisance. So yes, we need to learn. We need to learn who is Krishna. We need to learn how to see Krishna. Who is Krishna? We need to learn, the prayers of Prahlad Maharaj, what they mean. Srila Prabhupada is elucidating what this prayer means. So we need to learn. That's granted. However, mainly, our Guru is our spiritual link to Krishna. Means at the core of the thing, the principle, the tattva, is that Guru is our spiritual link to Krishna. Just like if you were to go get a job. If you were to go get a job, then what do? You barge into the CEO's office and you say, hey buddy, give me a job, I'm qualified. No, there's a whole system. The CEO has set up a system that he has these, managers, and the managers have appointed people to interview. And so you go in for an interview, and the interviewer asks you questions. He says, what's your previous work experience? And, are you a felon or something like that? And based on that, he analyzes whether or not you're qualified. And what does he do? He reports to the CEO or reports to his manager, whatever. He's appointed. He's given power of attorney by the CEO of the company. So in a similar way, Krishna, he wants us to have a relationship with him. He wants us to be there in the spiritual world with him. He wants us. However, we need to prove ourselves. We need to prove ourselves to Krishna that we're ready for that. And so Guru is that person who is given power of attorney by Krishna that, okay, I trust you. If you trust this person or any person, I'll accept them. This is Guru. So, Guru, the principle, the tattva of Guru, at its core is one. There's perhaps you could say maybe the illusion that there are many gurus. But Guru is actually one. Why? Guru Krishna Rup Shastra, Guru Krishna Rup Hoa Shastra Praman. that Shastra says that Guru is none other than Krishna's form. It's a form of Krishna, a manifestation of Krishna, who appears to the disciple. It comes up in Srimad Bhagavatam, where Krishna says to Gopakumar that I appeared to you as your guru. His guru's name is Jayanta. He said, I appeared to you as your guru, Jayanta. Krishna says directly to Gopakumar. So guru is one. There's the guru tattva, the guru principle, which is known as Vyashti Guru, the original form of Krishna as guru, which is basically Balaram or Nityananda Prabhu, that tattva. And then there's Samashti Guru. Samashti Guru appears as many different kinds of gurus, the personalized, localized manifestation of guru. Just like there's many forms of Krishna's one. He's one person. He's there. He's playing his flute, standing with Srimati Radharani in Vrindavan, in New Govardhan. However, there's Ram Bhaktas, there's Nrsimha Bhaktas, there's all kinds of Bhaktas. So there's, what's this verse in Bhagavatam? Ase shute kshitapado nanunata pumsam yad yad dhyata urugaya vibhavayanti tad tad vabu pranayase sadanugrahaya. That according to the way that a particular devotee meditates on Krishna, yad yad dhyata urugaya vibhavayanti tad tad vapu pranayase sadanugrahaya. By his mercy, Krishna appears to the devotee in that form. Prahlad Maharaj, he's a devotee of Nrsimhadev. Therefore, Nrsimhadev appears to him. Of course, it's not that Prahlad Maharaj wouldn't be happy if Shyam Sundar also appeared before him. But out of his mercy, Nrsimhadev appears, or Krishna appears to the devotees in a particular way that they like to see him. So in a similar way, Guru is one, but according to the inclination of the disciple, he appears to that disciple, Krishna appears as Guru to that disciple in a particular way. Now, that's not to say that every single Guru is a manifestation of Krishna according to the disciple's inclination. That one disciple's inclination is to just be a sex monger and a meat eater, and therefore Krishna appears to him and it's bona fide, and his guru says, okay, you have as much sex as you want and you eat as much meat as you want, and that's Krishna's desire. No, guru has to be bona fide, and guru is bona fide. Srila Prabhupada mentions in a purport in Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila 2352 that Shastra is the actual center of everything, and that guru is only Guru in as far as he follows Shastra. So this is why this verse, Shruti Smriti Puranadi Panchratra Vidhim Bina Aikantikir Bhakti Rupata Yeva Kalpate. Because Guru is only Guru if he gives Krishna. And you can say, oh, Krishna's unlimited, there's so many, different ways to understand Krishna. Yes, that's true, but there's a way that Krishna presents himself within Shastra. Achanoti Shastrartam. Acharya sthapayantipi swayam acharate yasmad acharya stena kirtitaha. That an acharya is known as an acharya if achanoti shastrartam, if he has taken Shastra to be the goal of his life, acharya sthapayantipi, if he establishes the proper conclusions of Shastra, and then swayam acharate yasmad, if he himself practices that which is said in Shastra. So, Shastra is the means by which a guru can be understood as a guru. Why? Because guru means giving Krishna. And he has to give the right Krishna. It's not that he gives the Krishna, it's not that, oh, I'm giving, the guru says, okay, I'm giving you Krishna, and Krishna, he has red skin, and he plays a trombone, and he's just a normal guy. He's not, he's just a normal guy, but he's like kind of powerful, and he has a, No. Krishna's blue. He's Shyam. He plays the flute. And he's God. And he's the controller of everything. He's Ishvara Parama Krishna, Sachidananda Vigraha, Anadir Adir Govinda, Sarvakarna Karanam, etc., etc. So, Guru is understood as Krishna Roop, as the manifestation of Krishna, if he's actually giving Krishna according to the rules and regulations and according to the descriptions of Krishna mentioned in Shastra. Therefore, Srila Prabhupada quotes this verse, Yasya prasadad bhagavat prasado, that by the mercy of the Guru, one obtains Krishna. Because Guru means he knows Krishna. He's Krishna Jana, he's Krishna Priya Jana, or he's Gora Priya Jana, as it's sometimes quoted. He's one who is dear to Krishna, one who is dear to Lord Chaitanya. Therefore, he can, like it says, Srila Prabhupada quotes this other verse, Guru Krishna Prasade Pai Bhakti Lata Bij. Therefore, because he himself has Krishna Prema, he himself has the mercy of Krishna, love for Krishna, he can plant that seed into the heart of his disciples. What is that seed? Bhakti Lata Bij. Srila Prabhupada mentions in the purport that it is the methods and regulations by which one is perfectly trained in devotional service. Guru Mukha Padma Vakya Chittete Korea Aikya. That the Bhakti Lata Bij, the way that this mercy is transmitted from Guru to disciple, is by his instructions according to Shastra. So both things are there. Guru is not just a teacher. He's not just somebody who knows some things about Krishna and therefore can repeat some information. But he's an actual, to the extent that he's following the Guru Parampara, to the extent that he's following Shastra, he's actually spiritually connected. It's like in, what do you call it? Like if you're wiring something, or if you're plugging something in, how about that? If you have a particular machine and you want it to work, what do? You have to plug it into the wall. And if the cable's messed up, if the wire's messed up, then there won't be any power transmitted. Or if the outlet is messed up, then there won't be any power transmitted. So, in the same way, the spiritual master has to be properly connected by following Shastra, by following his parampara, by following his acharya. And then, in that way, he can give that which is coming from Krishna. So by serving the spiritual master, and specifically by serving his instructions, then that mercy comes through. And Guru is specifically empowered. Specifically, the Vaishnavas are said to be the Karuna Shakti of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. They're said to be incarnations of his mercy. In the sense that by their mercy, they go around, the Madhyamadikari specifically, they go around and they distribute the mercy of Lord Chaitanya, the mercy of Krishna, and try to bring people and train them in the methods and regulations of devotional service. And Guru, if you read how specifically our Vaishnava Acharyas, I'll just read something. There's so many songs written by our Vaishnava Acharyas which specifically refer to how by serving the spiritual master, all of the obstacles in relation to the impediments which are keeping us from devotional service are removed. So I'll just read, there's a couple songs, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, one of them, yeah, this is a very famous one, Gurudev Kripa Bindu Diya. Gurudev Kripa Bindu Diya, Koro e Dase, Trina Pekhayo Tihin. Yes, the second line. Shakala Shahane Bol Diya Koro, Nija Mane Sprihohin. That the Guru, he gives strength to tolerate everything, and he makes the disciple free from vanity. So the obstacles to Krishna consciousness are what? The obstacles to Krishna consciousness, being fully Krishna conscious, is we have our own desires. Spriha. So that by the mercy of the spiritual master, by serving his instructions, we become sprihahin, which means no other desires. Here also, there's yes, this is from a song called Gurudev Boro Kripa Kori. Shaishav Javane Jara Shuka Sange Abhyasa Hoilo Mond. Nija karma doshe e deho hoilo bhajaner pratibandho. Because I indulged in mundane pleasures during my childhood and youth, my habits have become unfavorable to bhakti. Due to the reactions of my own misdeeds, this body has become an impediment to performing bhajan. Please tell me how I can do bhajan in this condition. Weeping and weeping, I have fallen at your lotus feet, greatly overwhelmed. There's one song here by Narottam Das Thakur, a very nice song, this one here, which has a very conclusive verse. This the fourth verse of the song. It's called Ki Rupe Paibo Seva. Ihar Korea Joy, Charano na Jai. Ihar Korea Joy. This, he's talking about Maya, can't be Charano na Jai. It can't be given up except for Sadhu Kripa Binayar Nahi Koi Upai. Without the mercy of a sadhu guru, then Maya cannot be given up. Therefore, in this verse, it's being emphasized that the first service is service to the spiritual master, which means serving the spiritual master's instructions. The guru instructs, he instructs the disciple to follow the rules and regulations of Vaidhi Bhakti, and by following those, then one becomes successful. That Vaidhi eventually becomes Bhav, and eventually it goes all the way up to Prema. And then, like Srila Prabhupada says here, then one, by his mercy, one can approach the Supreme Personality of Godhead to render service. First, one should try to please the spiritual master, then one should attempt to please the Supreme Personality of Godhead. When one is qualified by serving the Guru, automatically he is offered the platform of direct service to the Lord. Therefore, Prahlad Maharaj proposed that he engaged in the service of Narada Muni. He never proposed that he engaged directly in the service of the Lord. This is the right conclusion. So it's 8:30 now. I'll stop there if there's any comments or questions.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. One second, we have Bhakti Chat here with the question.
She can go first, actually, if she wants.
Okay, Danavari Mataji.
Yes, Prabhu. Very nice class, Prabhu. And I have a question, but before question, I want to thank you for giving me all the books of your Guru Maharaj.
I'll just tell the devotees, I saw Danavari Mataji when I was in San Jose, and she took a set of my spiritual master's books, and then took a picture with my spiritual master also.
Thank you, Prabhu. Very kind of you. And now I'm going to share with all the Vaishnavi devotees, anyone in San Diego. I already, some Matajis, they want to read, and whoever wants to read, I'm welcome. They can borrow. Thank you. Hare Krishna. And one question I have is, if someone, like new people, which we are reading Bhagavatam to, like in India, the devotees in a different language. So they are new, but they don't have Guru. So you mentioned that without Guru's Krupa, they don't get, Maya cannot be like given away or cannot overcome. In that case, we started reading Bhagavatam and everything. We finished Gita and other books. So if we want to inspire, they are not initiated or anything. So they don't have Guru yet.
Well, you're their Guru, aren't you? Shiksha Guru? No, it's true. It's true, because Shiksha Guru and Diksha Guru are the same manifestation of Krishna. They're equal manifestations of Krishna. So, one who gives Shiksha in relation to Krishna, it's that, if one is, of course, giving proper Shiksha, it's not that that person has to be a pure devotee. If they're giving proper Shiksha according to what they've received, then the mercy flows through there. Eventually, they should take Diksha. But at least in the beginning, Sadhu Sangha. Sadhu Sangha is the association with sadhus, is the, I could say that the manifestation of Guru. And then eventually they find a Vaishnava which they consider to be particularly qualified, and they choose him to accept Diksha.
Thank you, Prabhu. There are other, one Mataji also sees the facilitator and leading, and we both are trying to, like, we share and whatever. I know I'm very far from pure, but a little bit whatever I have, I'm in Maya too, but thank you for that. And one more question, if you have time, if others don't have question, can I ask?
Sure, you can ask.
Prabhu, my question I wanted to ask Guru Maharaj, but I didn't have a chance. But if you can share, when we, they say that when we pray to Radha Krishna, we are praying Lakshmi Narayan in that way because we are conditioned. So would you a little bit talk about it?
Yes. So Radha and Krishna, this is mainly in relation to like deity worship. That actually Radha and Krishna can only be worshipped by one who is on the platform of rag. They're not worshipped by Vaidhi bhaktas. So therefore, when we're worshipping Krishna, Lakshmi Narayana is accepting the worship. And therefore in our temples, many of our temples in Mayapur and here also in other places, and it's stated also in Hari Bhakti Vilas, that one should worship, along with Radha and Krishna, a Narayan Shalagram Shila. I did this because our Narayan Shalagram Shila is just a circle like that. So one should worship a Narayan Shalagram Shila, and then the mercy of Radha and Krishna flows through that Shila, because we can't approach Radha and Krishna unless we're pure devotees, unless we're on the platform of, or not pure devotees necessarily, but at least on the platform of rag, a spontaneous devotional service. Whereas Lakshmi Narayana accept worship from the platform of Vaidhi Bhakti. That's what I've heard in this connection. I can't say that I can back it up with any Shastra Pramana. I don't know of any reference in this regard. However, that's what I've heard.
Thank you so much. That is good enough, Prabhu. Good explanation. Hare Krishna. I'm very appreciative. Thank you, Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna. Dr. Nally, you have something?
I have two questions. I think I kind of forgot one already, but I see, especially like kids growing up in a devotee family, they don't generally seem to be like seriously looking for like taking shelter or taking an initiation, and they go about performing devotional service. I mean, there's a lot of people, but I've noticed that definitely. So what kind of, is there like a level of still benefit there? Like if they go throughout their life without actually taking spiritual master and they almost perform direct service kind of thing?
Yeah, because the holy name, basically the chanting of the holy name is just above everything. Like even you don't really need Diksha to chant the holy name. You could go back to Godhead straight just from chanting the holy name without even a guru. But of course, for most people, you have to be chanting Shuddhanam. You have to be chanting the pure holy name. So for most people, that's not very practical. So by the mercy of the spiritual master who takes the sinful reactions of the disciple, who purifies the disciple by instructions, that's most practical in 100% of all cases, basically speaking. So they do get benefit, but not as much benefit as if they would take spiritual initiation and actually follow the instructions of a spiritual master.
And then, through performing devotional service you get the Guru's mercy, and ultimately he'll give you Krishna as a result. But how does the services manifest or change at that point?
In the spiritual world?
Yeah, so within this life, I guess you'll always serve the spiritual master, and you'll never consider yourself to be. But after the time you leave your body, then that's when.
Even in the spiritual world, no, Srila Prabhupada criticized this idea very much. This is the Mayavadi conception that okay, after this, that I have a guru and I follow my guru's instructions as a part of my sadhana. But then once I'm finished with sadhana and I've achieved sadhya, then I step on my guru's head and I go to the spiritual world, basically like that. So, no, the real conclusion is that actually like Narottam Das Thakur says, Chakudan dilaje, janme janme Prabhu say, that birth after birth, the relationship with the spiritual master is there. And not just birth after birth, but because he's, like that verse, Guru Krishna Rup Hoa, Shastra Praman. Guru is the form of Krishna. So therefore, just like our relationship with Krishna is eternal, our relationship with the Guru is actually also eternal. How exactly that manifests in the spiritual world is somewhat mysterious. But, I mean, one thing is that the Guru serves, like for instance, like, okay, this is getting a little bit esoteric here, but for instance, if the Guru is like a Saki, or like a Gopi, then, that Guru serves under a particular Gopi, and then you serve that Gopi, and then like that. So it manifests like that. The relationship with the spiritual master is there also in the spiritual world. Of course, these things are like way above our head. But it is there, it is described, that we serve under the spiritual master, even in the spiritual world. Is that okay? Yeah. Was that two questions, or yeah, that was two.
Yeah, that was just my question. I didn't know how that relationship, because you perform service, distribute books. It kind of seems in one way like you're serving the Guru, but you're also serving Krishna at the same time. So
yeah, under the Guru's order.
Right. Okay.
Under the Guru's order, just like Narottam Das Thakur. Narottam Das Thakur had his Guru Lokanath Goswami, and he engaged in bhajan according to Lokanath Goswami's instructions. And as he was engaging in bhajan, he got the revelation that his service in the spiritual world is boiling milk for sweets for Krishna and for Radha and Krishna. So that's direct service, boiling milk for Radha and Krishna. That's direct service to Radha and Krishna, but it's achieved, and it's also done under the guidance of the Guru. And even in the spiritual world, he has again, we're getting a little esoteric here, but he has a gopi above him who's supervising that, and then who's taking that and then offering it. So it's there. There's always Guru there. Because Krishna, he likes to be, especially, Srila Prabhupada brings this up in a number of places actually, and especially in his purports. And lectures also. That, yeah, you can call Krishna Adhokshaja, you can call Krishna, even you can call him Krishna, or you can call him, Bhagavan and this and that. But what he really likes, he especially likes names like Nandanandana, or Yashodanandana, or Devaki Nandana, because they're in relation to his devotees. So he likes being referred to as God and this and that. He even he likes being referred to as names of Krishna and Vrindavan also. But he especially he likes it most when he's referred to in relation to his devotees. So the relationship with the Vaishnavas, with the devotees of Krishna, continues on eternally. So, because that's what pleases Krishna. So, yes, Virachandra Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. You stressed in the beginning that not enough to know Krishna. We should have a relationship. And how I understand that this relationship we develop through the relationship Guru, especially, and but Guru Tattva is very wide, and Guru can manifest through the devotee. So, should we develop this relationship with devotees?
Yes, we should. We should develop the relationship with devotees. So but the relationship with the devotees, and specifically with the Guru, is yes, of course, there has to be, pleasant dealings and be friendly, and it's not that. But mainly, the way that devotees associate is by encouraging each other and instructing each other, according to their qualification, of course, in Krishna consciousness. So, yes, we should develop a relationship with the devotees, but the relationship with the devotees should be based on Krishna consciousness. Should be centered around Krishna, talking about Krishna, hearing about Krishna, doing kirtan, things like this. Bhakti chat.
Hare Krishna. So can you talk a little bit about what qualifies a guru, or when does one know that a guru is qualified or as good as Krishna? What characteristics?
Well, like that verse.
Yeah.
Achanoti shastrartham acharistapyantipi swayam acharate yasmad acharistena kirtitaha. There's many perspectives on this, but one perspective is that Guru means that he's following Shastra. Guru means that he's following Shastra, that he's establishing that which is given in Shastra, and that he himself is practicing it in his own life. So specifically in our case, how do we know that a Guru is bona fide? We see that he's presenting things exactly as Srila Prabhupada is presenting things, that he's following Srila Prabhupada's instructions. He's chanting 16 rounds, following the four, that's like bare minimum. Chanting 16 rounds and following 4 regular principles. Amongst other things, presenting things as Srila Prabhupada presented them. The same emphasis Srila Prabhupada presented them, preaching the way Srila Prabhupada preached, or at least said to preach. And in this way, one can understand that a spiritual master is the manifestation of Krishna. We have to look at his following Shastra and how he's following his Acharya. And then we can understand him to be an Acharya himself. Is that okay? Nindadi shunya hridam ipsita sangalabdhya. That we should serve and take instructions from those devotees who are free from the quality of criticizing others. Just criticizing and offending other people. That's one other perspective. Anything more? Nally Prabhu?
This is a little bit just digging, but anyways,
You're about to say speculation, huh?
some people, particularly in maybe other religions, like I was recently having a conversation with a devotee who unfortunately left Krishna consciousness and is practicing Christianity, which is good in its own right, but he says there's not so much emphasis on service and more praying and having a conversation with God. How can you understand? We understand, those kind of things aren't so cheap and easily.
Yeah, but what do you know about, what do you know about God?
Yeah.
You want to talk to God and do this and that. I mean, what do you even know about him? What do you know about him, and who are you to just talk to him? And why should he, So it's not such a cheap thing talking to God. I mean, it requires a significant level of purification, Because you might say, okay, I'm talking to God, but how do you know you're talking to God? That's the real thing. Like I knew one person who said he had a roommate who in the shower every day he would talk to God, like out loud, have a full-on conversation. It's like, who's he talking to, How do you know that what's being, if you get any reply, sometimes I doubt that these people even get any replies. But even if they do get some reply, how do you know it's not just your mind? How do you ascertain that? Yes, God is very merciful. God would like to speak with you. God would like to interact with you. But how do you know that it's God? Because so many people say, okay, God told me to blow up this building. God told me to kill such and such person. God is telling me that, you know, how many freaking homeless people out on the street here are saying that you know, God is telling me this, God is telling me that. So how do you know? You know because you find somebody who is sufficiently spiritually advanced. Means find somebody who themselves is close to God, and they can tell you, they can confirm. So just like we were talking to that guy in the taxi yesterday, and he was saying, oh man, F the priests and this and that, and who's the priest to tell me what's what? Who are you to tell you, you know? Who are you to say what's what? Are you somebody to say what's what? That's the real question. Of course, we didn't really get into it with him, but he was a little fired up. But yeah, we were in a taxi yesterday in Mexico, and this guy said, no, man, you know, I don't go to church anymore, and the church and all the priests, and they're so, you know, hypocritical. And who's the priest to tell me about God? And who's the priest to tell me that this is what God says and this is what God wants? He's like, you know, I just follow what I think, you know, what I believe. But how do you know what you believe is correct? That's the real question. How do you know? So guru is the medium by which we can know. So yeah, that's what I would say to that. Okay, Grantharaj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.